Welcome to Total Fitheads.
Serious fitness for not so serious people.
We had a lot of great ones.
No. Hey, happy 100.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Same to you. What a ride.
I know. You say that's like a thing that you say on 100 things. What a ride. No, but for real. I can't believe we hit this high.
I really can't either. And frankly, I can't believe we've met 70 people that we really, really like.
I know. Only 30 of our past episodes were duo episodes. And then 70 of them were experts in the field, which was our target when we first started.
Yeah, it's a little
right.
It's funny. Our plan originally was meet somebody in LA, get to the gym with them, do a workout, breathe each other's breath. You know what I mean? Have sweat flying in the air, and then in March of 2020, that all slammed to a halt.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we did a pretty interesting job, sort of zooming everything.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure, and I thought it was going to fail, and triple digits is not failing. Hey, thanks for being here. It's because of you guys.
Yeah. You know, they say it's only failing if you give up.
Oh, no. Well, here's to 200.
Here's to 5,000. I don't know, whatever. Next stop, quad digits.
I'm down. I will. Well, obviously, we watch enough Total Fitheads podcast, we figured out how to extend our life until we live forever and do thousands of episodes.
Right. And Lord willing, one day we'll get whoever's making that chip where you can download your brain onto a machine. So then we'll just go forever.
Right. We'll do it on an episode. We'll upload ourselves
live
with that guy who invented it.
Not alive. Live. You know what's scary about that? I mean, we don't really have a lot of time. We're on a breakneck thing, though.
Yeah.
Is the whole concept of downloading your brain onto something else. The only real way to do that, I think, is to make a copy. Do you know what I mean? And so if you're downloading your brain onto something, you're going to die. But the copy is going to live. Does that
I don't
make
know.
sense?
Did you watch Multiplicity?
I did. Did you watch The Prestige?
Yeah, wasn't that just... I don't want spoilers here.
Spoilers. Sorry.
It's a twin.
Yeah, that guy was a twin. But the other one, remember at the end he keeps copying himself?
Oh, yeah, all right.
And then he's like, I never knew if I was the copy or if I was the real or whatever. And that's, I think, what would happen if you download your brain onto it.
Or several of you, or... I don't know. Oh, yeah, you'd have to murder the initial one.
And then are you that one or are you the next one?
Why doesn't anybody talk about that, honestly?
Because we're not doing it yet, but give it 2 months, we'll be doing it.
Yeah, Elon hit us up. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you have a lot in store for you, Fithead, for this episode, because we are going to if this is your first episode, if this is your first time listening to us, you don't need to go back and start at 1, because we're going to tell you all of the key takeaways from the first 100.
It's like the CliffsNotes.
Yeah.
So we had so many awesome episodes, we thought we'd go back and give our sort of biggest takeaway from the episode, whether that was something the guest said that we really liked or we learned, or whether that was something we talked about and we sort of hashed out with each other or whatever, but...
A little reminiscing, a little the superstar, all-star run-through.
Yeah, I think it's... we're a little, reminisce is the right word.
Yeah.
Because I look back at these and I'm like, this is crazy. Oh yeah, that was awesome when he told me about this, or that was awesome when she said that, or you know what I mean?
And yeah, I want to see if we're actually executing all the things that we learned.
I also want to know if we remember the same biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
That's true too.
Is if I'm like, oh, the biggest takeaway from that is glucose, and you're like, the biggest takeaway from that was she's hot, and I'm like, oh yeah. Totally.
I was definitely zoning out for the glucose part.
Spoilers, that one was about the good doctor.
The good doctor?
Well, we'll see when we get there.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right, starting with 1. I don't actually have it here.
Let me zoom all the way back here.
It's a lot of zooming. This wasn't even a episode on video. We were only doing audio at that time.
Was it just you and me?
Yeah, and we talked about our nutrition.
I remember.
I remember now. I don't even need to look back.
It was great. A. B. What was fun was we were recording on our phones.
We were still learning. Yeah.
We're still learning the ropes of the old podcast.
Technology and equipment and such. So my takeaway for that was tracking is super awesome, and that's only for me. And tracking is terrible. That's only for you.
The title was "What We Eat in a Day: Our Food Fitness Journey."
Yeah.
I talked about my wrestling diet. That's what I remember. That was when you were first introduced to the horrific world of my previous diets.
I feel like before that I had a vague idea of what you had to deal with, but that was an in-depth look at why you should be so screwy.
Yeah. It was like if you feel like if you hear a car crash versus if you see a car crash.
Sure.
That's what it felt like.
Or when you're watching something gruesome in a bad movie, you can always plug your ears and then everything's sort of more manageable.
Yeah.
You take the audio away, it's less scary.
Yeah, that's why a lot of those jump cut scare movies, they have that like...
Yeah, or leading up to it's the...
Yeah.
You know
I remember
coming.
really being not scared. It was one of those Michael Myers Halloween ones. And I wasn't scared, but I was like, my ears hurt? Is that bad? And then meanwhile, Michael Myers is like stabbing somebody to death. I'm like, ow, it's kind of loud in here.
Remember when we said we were going to do rapid fire?
Oh yeah, sorry. Alright, what's next? Isolation fitness, home workouts, and quarantine nutrition.
Yeah. So that was when we just recalibrated everything because I could no longer go to my CrossFit gym.
Yeah, and I just started doing 1 million push-ups.
Yeah, and I broke my workout into push, pull, legs, question mark.
Legs, question mark.
Which is probably the toughest part. I didn't have a Brittany to overhead squat or whatever you do. But yeah, I think what we learned from that one is that you don't need a gym. We figured it out.
We, along with the rest of the world,
figured
out you don't need a gym.
No, it's just us.
You're welcome, Earth.
You're welcome. Everybody came to us for the answer. All right, what's
Episode 3? Katie Morton, mental health in a quarantine lockdown.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about isolation. Because that was when I was a little scared, and I think we were just getting right into it.
Yeah, and what I learned from that one is that Zoom really is not a substitute, even though everybody was doing it, and it seems like that's the future. She's like, no, like chemically, you need to be
physical, whatever.
Which is why we're doing the 100th episode together, by the way. I was like, Max, come here.
I will say that Zoom is one level better than phone calling, though. I have noticed that.
Yeah, well, and then when we'll get to the simulation... No, sorry, that would be too far. That would be exactly like sitting next to you in the simulation. I mean the metaverse where we're like a weird adolescent stepped to simulating an Earth.
It'll be great.
That'll be slightly better.
Well, then they'll be able to spit in the chemicals or the pheromones or whatever. They'll have
right.
So it'll totally be fun. You'll feel the heat. Like, you know those rides where the dragon like blows and the flame shoots out.
Yeah.
All right. Kim Nonstop. That was how to thrive in quarantine, isolation, and lockdown. I remember talking about Premium Rush for like 20 minutes.
That was the takeaway! That Kim Nonstop has been in Premium Rush. You go watch it. It's really good, too.
The takeaway is Premium Rush is one of the greatest cinematic masterpieces of our time.
I know.
I really liked it. Go watch it.
And they did a good job of casting. That the whole thing is authentic because they had Kim helping.
Uh-huh. She gave it gravitas, you know what I mean?
Yes. I've always wanted to use that word.
Ready?
Yes.
Leanne, that was the next was Leanne.
Yeah.
Live stream pole dancing workouts. We talked about live stream pole dancing workouts. To me, the thing about Leanne is she's so unbelievably strong. And it's insane. And flexible and balanced and coordinated and everything. Similar
takeaway. It's so unbelievable because it looks effortless when she's doing it.
Yeah, she's got like a sort of demure smile while she's flagging herself.
An insane workout where you're not allowed to look upset. Yeah, doing flags and stuff.
It was so funny. I love that one. She's so funny. We
should have her back. We're going to say that about everyone.
I know, and I was about to say, this is, She's clearly one of the strongest, most athletic guests we've had, but it's probably like a 70-way tie.
Yeah. We don't include ourselves, obviously. All right, Kiki Smith. She trained women specifically. My takeaway was I'm not eating enough.
Eat more to weigh less.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the early ones where we had either a female trainer or someone who trains women, and we started talking about how you guys have been told just eat less.
Yeah.
That's it. That's your fitness.
Well, and if it doesn't work, you're still eating too much.
Yeah. Just stop eating. Have more cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. I don't know.
Have some self-control and spray some Pam in your mouth. That's it. That's all you get.
That ended up being a bit of a running theme, which I'm psyched about.
Sure will come up. Will come to.
Yeah.
Gideon. See, we're still talking body weight.
Yeah.
This
And
is episode 7.
He said you can get shredded with just home body weight workouts.
And I follow him on Instagram, and it is true.
It is true.
That dude is a shredder.
It is absolutely true.
So don't, again, feel like you need to go to a gym.
But he also would do sort of faster paced stuff. He wouldn't do body weight specifically. He would do like shadow boxing, and you know what I mean? He would do a lot of
cardio.
Like up-tempo stuff. He would actually do HIIT.
Yeah.
He would actually do intense, high intense, whatever.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, there's another intense one later that we'll get to. I'm like already thinking it and getting excited.
Zipping. All right.
Episode 8, Peace Inside Live. Oh, okay.
Loved this one.
Jordana and Shira.
This one was one of the earliest ones where I started ragging on meditation, how much I hated it. Mm-hmm. And then I obviously hated it so much I did it for over a year. So who knows if I actually hated it or not. Maybe I'm just fooling myself.
Yeah, they were a pretty convincing argument that I was stupid for not meditating.
Yeah, and it feels relaxing, and laugh therapy. Remember that one?
That was
That was her, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She was like, if you actually laugh, whether or not you're happy,
if you're faking
if you're faking it, even if you're like know you're faking it, you can trick your own brain into being happier. That was amazing.
That was crazy. We should be doing that more. Like, ha ha ha. Get fit by running, Justin Horniker. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he really blasted my brain about running because I was like, what about progressive overload? And he's like, well, sprints and high intensity and whatever. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah. And my biggest takeaway from this episode was the warm-up is really like a lot more important than you think, even if it's just a jog. Because I used to just, jog literally out my door. That was the beginning of my jog.
Right.
And now if you do leg swings, if you do sort of, what's it called? Not
high knees?
Not static stretching.
Active?
Active.
Yeah.
Warm-up or whatever. That's the one you do. You do active before your workout, you do static afterwards. But he said the warm-up is a big, big way to help with your everything, basically.
Yeah, and then I bought new shoes. That was my takeaway. Oh, yeah. I bought new tennis shoes because I basically blamed myself for my knee problems. I wasn't warming up and I had old shoes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Justin.
Good excuse. I mean, good advice. Get new shoes.
That was also 90 weeks ago, which means I probably need some new shoes.
That's true. Well, but how much have you been running?
Oh, right.
Okay.
Josh Horton. My big takeaway from this is you just have to be born Josh Horton to be good at what he does. He was a juggler, but not just a juggler. Just everything, hand-eye coordination. He's so good at, and he's like, I just always have been. Which I thought maybe coming into it, he'd be like, this is how I hone my skills, and he's like, no, I can just pick up something and be good at it.
My takeaway from that was he doesn't even know what he's doing, but when he was talking about other stuff, he was noticing things that I wouldn't notice, like how your arms move, I think, or like when he was doing the swords, he was talking about how like you follow it, the handle down. Yeah. So I think he was like, I don't know, I just do it. But I think his brain works in a way that's like he notices how physical, how your body works physically, and I think that's a really cool aspect to it. And if you know that, then you can do it. He's just naturally gifted at it.
Right.
Also,
and I always felt like we had that because I'm a dancer and you were a wrestler, so you had to put your body in positions based on watching someone, but he's next level at that.
He's way more
What's that called?
specific.
Somatic awareness? Or no, like your body in space is starts with a P.
Peace inside.
Key takeaway, I don't know vocab words. Okay. Hunger for fitness. Oh, yeah.
McDonald's and mimosas every week.
Yeah, this was a deep dive into if you just hit your macros, you can do whatever you want.
This is the beginning of a lot of macro talk this year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of just... Oh, and a lot of like Sunday is our cheat day kind of day. That's what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
And it was funny because they wanted to talk about how they program other people, and we were like, no, tell us about you.
Yeah.
Why are you taking Instagrams with McDonald's? And he's like, well, I tell my clients to fill their plate and figure out how to sort of eye things, but he calculated everything so that he could have his Sunday mimosas.
Yeah.
Loved it.
I love that. That was such a good episode.
What number are we on? 12. Marcus, I love this one too. This was mind expanding.
This one was crazy. My favorite takeaway from this is, well, it's actually kind of cheating. It's like on his Instagram now, it's amazing because he sort of debunks those stupid, if a guy pulls a gun on you, all you do is, blah.
Right.
Have you seen those? And they're so dumb. And if anyone pulls a gun on you, please don't try to ninja your way out of it because you can't.
I saw it on Instagram.
And so he goes on Instagram and he does the first clip of like the stupid person showing the stupid video, and then he does it, and like he tries to, and the guy's like click 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 click, like he shoots him 11 times or whatever. So he's a great follow for sure.
Yeah, and that he gave a solution for police violence that involved training cops way more.
Yeah, that was
Which
awesome.
was interesting because it made me even more empathetic towards cops that are like put in these positions when anyone would react poorly because your physiology is just going nutso in that much risk.
And because you're not used to that stress and you don't know what's going on and you're not aware of what if you're not aware of the danger, then you yourself are sort of contributing to it.
Right.
That was a great one. That one I also remember that he was on his phone, and so he'd sort of walk around and he'd like put his phone on places, and I'm like, where are we going? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, and then somebody would be hammering and he'd be like, oh, all right, and we'd go on another walk, and I'm like, okay, man, let's do this.
And the protests were going on just outside his gym.
Is that what that was?
That's what it was.
Oh, I thought they were doing construction.
Or
both.
Well, it might have been both. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Oh no, were they constructing the boards on the glass so it didn't break?
That's right.
That's what it was. Yeah. How fitting.
How fitting.
Alright.
How fitting.
I get it. Episode 13. That was our first levels episode first because we had more.
Joshy.
Gosh.
This one was my introduction to levels. I think yours too, right?
Yeah.
When he said that different people can process the same foods in different ways. That was the biggest mind-boggling sentence, I think, from that. And then obviously everything came off of that.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot more about it and experience levels and how it's a dramatic difference. I could have a horrible response to banana and be great with an oatmeal cookie, and we always use that example because everyone's like, bananas are healthy, cookies are not.
Yeah.
But then you could have a great response to a banana and a horrible response to a cookie. Also,
the other thing that stuck out to me was, who eats oatmeal cookies?
Oh yeah, no. What a waste.
What? That was nuts. I almost wanted to, I had to hold myself back from like, sorry, stop. That was a fun one, yeah.
Andre Chris.
Oh my God. I mean, you gotta put him in there with the strongest
Andre Chris.
Of our guests, if not human beings on this planet.
Yeah. To be clear, we follow all of these people on Instagram.
I know.
This is what I do when I wake up in the morning.
He was trainer of the year, trainer of the city, he won some award.
Men's Health Trainer of the Year,
right.
Male.
And it wasn't just that he won it, he competed. It was a competition that he won.
Yeah, it wasn't...
He wasn't named...
like Forbes 30 under 30, whatever.
Yeah, some crap like sexiest man alive or whatever. He competed and he won. That was insane. And his Instagram is insane.
Yeah.
He's picking up stuff. He did a Turkish getup with his dog the other day. Did you see that? He's
I
got
saw
a
him
big
overhead
golden
squat his
retriever.
dog.
Oh, maybe it was an overhead squat. Yeah.
All right, takeaway with that was follow Andre Cruz.
Yeah, exactly.
John Woolley. Yeah, so it's funny, he was right after Andre, who changed from being a CrossFit gym to just being a, what would you call it, functional fitness gym. And then John came in and was like, I have faith that CrossFit's going to be okay, sticking with it.
Yeah, I know.
Which it is. I mean, we're doing all right. They just got rid of Dave Castro. What the heck?
That, and there was a lot of sort of subtle to aggressive Instagram posts about it from a lot of the major guys.
No, including John. Okay, we can't digress. We should just do a whole episode on the state of CrossFit.
Dave Castro, hit me up on Twitter.
Speaking of,
Nikki Breezer.
They have a podcast together. We did them back to back. She's also a CrossFitter. And yeah, my takeaway from that is that some of the top level CrossFitters are fun.
Yeah, that was really fun too. It's not a lot. It's not all like blah, blah, blah. You know, she was.
And not all of them are fun, but some of them drink and or joke or whatever.
Yeah. Amazing.
Kaye Ma.
Kaye Ma, the fittest guest we've ever had.
My takeaway from that is that being on Ellen is horrible.
That was so funny. The story she told about how she was on Ellen she does handstands on hoverboards and then makes cool videos out of them, and now makes a bunch of awesome Instagram videos, TikToks, stuff like that. And
choreography with a whole big group.
Dance choreography.
Asked to be on
Ellen. And they were like, can you be here
insane timeline.
in 7 hours or something like that?
And choreograph a new thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was nuts. But I'm glad she did it because I saw it and it was awesome. So thanks.
Super impressive.
She was amazing. And she's easily one of the fittest people on the planet.
Effortlessly. Again, one of those people where I see her do something like, oh, I could do that. I could not do that.
I know.
It looks so simple.
And then now she's doing one-hand stands.
Of course.
One-hand stands. Is that one-handed handstand? Whatever. She's standing on one arm.
And then on top of people, and then holding people up.
And then on a hoverboard.
Yeah. Takeaway, follow Kaye Ma on Instagram.
We follow all these people on Instagram. It's insane.
Jeff Hallaby.
Jeff.
Ah, that was our longest episode, I think. It was just 2 hours of like, not just digging into our brains.
Yeah. A lot about mental.
Yeah.
About not fit mental, life fit mental,
right.
I guess.
My takeaway was vagus nerve.
Vagus nerve?
Yeah, the thing that's your parasympathetic nervous system. He was so focused on just being able to come back from the stress response. You could tell that he was just stressed for decades of his life, and he finally learned how to control the vagus nerve.
I thought vagus nerve was like doubling down on a third hand of blackjack, you know what I mean? When you're already down like half a mil. Phoenix Effect.
Takeaway, CrossFit is stupid.
My takeaway was this is the beginning of bands. They said you can get a really gnarly shoulder workout with certain rubber bands.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh yeah. Huh. They were psyched about that.
I just remember taking a dump on specifically CrossFit functional fitness.
Yeah.
Oh, transverse plane. That CrossFit never does this turny thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're always like working on squats and an overhead press and wall balls and box jumps. They're all the same movement, and they're like, you gotta turn. You ever played a sport? You gotta turn.
Have you ever looked around?
No, not since I started CrossFit, that's for darn sure.
Yeah, they were great. I really liked them.
Kim again. We just brought her on to talk about that movie even more.
We did Premium Rush again, right?
Oh, we were just like, can we please talk about
stupid
Premium Rush?
I feel like in this one we delved into, because in one part in Premium Rush he like mentally visualizes where he can go and if he will die.
I know, I think about it all the time when I'm biking and not doing that.
And then didn't we ask her about it? She was like, oh
yeah, like,
that's what
absolutely.
You do.
You're just like calculating routes, what would be the fastest, what would be the least death.
Insane. Yeah. I'm sure I asked her about getting doored, and if I hadn't, I'm going to text her right after this.
Love that that's a verb. Alright, Jeremy Abramson.
He was a big shroom guy.
Yeah, I feel like I should take shrooms. I never have, though. See, we're not following up on these great takeaways.
His TikTok's pretty good. He never blinks. gonna say it, Jeremy. Maybe you should blink once in a while. Your eyes must be really dry.
No, because everyone in the comments says you haven't blinked in years.
I wonder if he's doing it on purpose now, just because they started. You know what I mean?
It's just one long joke. I love it. He's playing this character.
This was the beginning of the Miami shrooms. I feel like we had another couple of Miami shroom people.
Why can't I be convinced? I think I have tried lion's mane maybe, and I was like, huh.
Huh.
That's why maybe I haven't just kept going. I don't know. All right, David Lee. Oh, water fasting.
Oh my God, dry fasting.
Yeah, sorry, dry fasting.
That made me so furious because he was like, yeah, I just dry fast, and I'm like, that is my nightmare. That's my absolute nightmare. He's like, really, it's not that bad, and I'm like, what? It's bad. It's about as bad as it gets. And he was like, I don't know, it's okay. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna jump off a bridge now. I was so mad about that.
I have a list of videos that I would like to do in the future for Fitness Outrageous, my fitness channel, and dry fast just keeps getting bumped down lower and lower and lower.
Just bump it. Just keep bumping it.
I don't know, I feel like I should try it though.
If you try it, make sure you have a very intense workout. Because you can walk around with no water for sure, but you can't exercise. You know what I mean?
Oh, like try it. Yeah.
Like if you're dry fasting, push it really. Do a CrossFit workout level intensity workout.
Yeah, with regular fasting, your glucose will hang out and be fine, but if you really use it up, okay.
What I'm telling you is, food is pretty good. Water's really good for working out.
Well, then we get to the air one where they're like,
sure.
He's like, stop breathing.
Underwater. Just do it.
God, what a great 100 weeks that we've had.
100,000 weeks.
Okay. Chris Duffin.
Duff.
See, and I have that list of things that I want to do, and then I did this. He told us to drink whiskey and deadlift.
That was a great one.
I PR'd.
Yep.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
I had a 5 pounds in my deadlift when I was still a little buzzy.
Not to be too much of an ad, but I also really liked his sort of machinery contraptions that he was selling and making, and he had that funny bar, and he had that funny trap bar, and he had all these cool gadgets. We call it funny
just because he made it work for the human body instead of when we were just like, here's the straight barbell, I guess lift that, I don't know.
How many of these things can we make in as little time and as cheap as possible? And then he came up with like cool, more, what do you call it, ergonomic?
Yeah.
Sort of ways of doing stuff like that?
They're more effective for muscle building, strength, and just keeping your body going.
It was a great episode.
Love it.
Great tattoo. I got his book. Great book. Great book, great tattoo.
Yeah.
So, what can you say? What else can you say?
I listened to the book while I worked out.
Nice.
I feel very cool about that. All right, 24. Sleep is a performance-enhancing drug.
Alex, oh my God.
One of the co-founders of 8 Sleep.
This was 8 Sleep. I love my 8 Sleep mattress.
I love it too. I love it so much.
It's a mattress that regulates your temperature as you're sleeping, and it also tracks your heart rate, resting heart rate, sleeping heart rate, I guess. Mm-hmm. And your HRV, and some,
when you fall asleep, how long it takes to fall asleep.
And this was also the beginning of our, sleep is incredibly important. Thread. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Because now me and Allie text each other about, hey, I'm caught up on my sleep. How are you sleeping? Oh, what time did you go to sleep? Oh, you weirdo. What, you know what I mean?
It's like a battle.
It's so weird.
Yeah, this is when I learned it's the low-hanging fruit that no one's using. It's the number one thing that can get you to your goals that people ignore. And it's so fast.
And it's the opposite. They don't ignore it. They push it.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, the sleep
police. I'll sleep when I'm dead. The sleep police. Yeah,
I'll sleep when I'm dead is such a thing that we've heard, and it's something you strive for, and all these entrepreneur performance Instagram motivation pages or whatever. They're like, dude, whatever, you just work all night and then work all day and then work all night, and like,
never blink.
Anyway, I really liked 8 Sleep, and she was really. What did she say that was so funny?
I don't drink coffee.
Oh, that was it. Yeah, she was talking about the coffee. No. Yeah.
Really? I can't believe that was what you were...
She makes an espresso. She was talking about once in a while I'll have an espresso or something like that. And then she was like, I gave up coffee. And I'm like, because you work for what do you mean? Because I 8 Sleep or because she's like, nah,
I just don't need it.
Just because. And I'm like, what? That was a mind bottler for sure.
I forgot. It was that coffee doesn't make you less tired. It just masks the symptoms.
That's what it was.
Caffeine just masks the symptoms of being tired. You're not actually less so. Yeah, that was a screw with my head. I think about that every time I have coffee now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alexandra.
Thanks.
Dean Somerset. Oh, this was great. Why stretching is a waste of time. He didn't say that you shouldn't stretch, but he said if your body doesn't need it, if I can sit in a full split, I probably don't need to be really focusing on that before I squat.
Yeah.
So mobilize based on your needs and your body, not just do whatever everyone does.
Yeah. He was also, I hate to say this again, but he was one of the fittest guys we've had on there. He looked like he could pick up a car and just throw it.
But
he looked like if you know how CrossFit gyms are in parking lots now. He looked like if somebody parked in the middle of his CrossFit gym, he could be like, "Oh, hold on, I'll just and just throw it." You know what I mean?
Dr. Bove.
Dr. Bove, God, he was awesome. The main takeaway for me was that like CBD is not a cure-all, but almost a perfect cure-all for sure.
That it just puts stuff back in balance.
Yeah.
I can neither confirm or deny that is the truth, but man, he said he's got tons of results from all his clients saying like this is the thing.
I thought it was so sort of like we've had a couple of these where they're very, very smart and they're trying to educate people and they're coming across in a really like excellent way. You know, they're educating in sort of like a sweet way, whereas a lot of times people are super smart about something, it's a little intimidating, and then it makes a barrier for somebody to learn about it because they're like, oh really, you don't even know what internal V is, you dork, you know, and
that's
you're like,
my entire channel. Yeah,
I really
he
like
seemed really caring.
Yeah, in his education, it was very cool. Yeah. Also, great sweatshirt.
CBD beer.
CBD beer.
Oh yeah, you sent us sweatshirts too. That was awesome.
That was really fun.
Number one merch giving guest. Tony Gentlegore. Yeah.
He was awesome.
He was like, if you're pulling 1RM every time, then you're not getting any stronger. And I was like, oh, that's why.
Also, I really liked that he was big on dead bugs. Did we talk about that? I feel like he really liked them, and he sort of went off for a second. And then it was one of those exercises that I'm like, oh yeah, Tony. And now I do dead bugs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was solid. Cool. The core is the whole thing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Sharika. Bodybuilding, we talked about.
She was bodybuilding. She was also boxing. She was getting into boxing. And she was like, I don't know, I think I could do it. That was fun. I was like, oh really? You think you can? And now you're incredible? Cool. What was that? 70 hours that you trained? Cool. Wow, that's fair. That's really fair. So
yeah, I guess my takeaway is that you don't need to limit yourself to either aesthetics or sports. It can be both.
Yeah. And also she was one of those balls of energy.
Yeah.
Happy energy. You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, this is awesome. You know?
I know. I felt like she was sprinting around when we were talking to her.
Yeah, that was fun.
And she was in her bright red gym.
And she was wearing red, wasn't she?
Yeah. That
was amazing.
Brian Borstein. I don't know if you all are familiar with Brian. But we talk about him in every episode. We get to talk about him twice today because we had 2 episodes with him.
He is amazing. His Instagram is amazing. His podcast is amazing. He was easily the fittest guest we've had.
The rule of 3s, except you're saying it 100 times.
I'm saying it 70 times. Exactly.
Yeah, he that first episode was me being like, oh, I need to be way more scientific about how I'm tracking things, because I was always saying, yeah, gamify your workouts, but if you take an extra breath in between your last rep, that's making it slightly easier, so you need to keep everything the same to truly know that you have progressed or not.
Yeah, he was amazing with tracking. The other thing I remember is he told us that story about how he was in San Diego and he ran the CrossFit gym or owned it. I can't remember. And then after the bars one night, they broke in and did a workout, and then they laid on the ground and couldn't get up because they were so tired. And then people would come in and they'd be like, "Get out of here!" And the people would be like, "No," and they'd be like, "Ah, okay." That was so funny. I think about that all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was amazing.
All right, Stanimal, episode 30.
Technically episode 30. In reality, episode 2.
That's the second thing we recorded.
Yeah, Stanimal was incredible. Yeah, in his episode, but it was also incredible for us because he was the beginning of what we thought would be our I guess format, or I guess our procedure. I guess.
Yeah.
We got him here. We got him in person. We could play off. I don't know, physically.
This was pre-shutdown or worrying about anything COVID related.
Yeah.
And he just talked about going to a physical gym and using their big machines.
Right.
And then we were like, we can't release this now. No one can do that. So we waited
crazy.
For 30 episodes to put it out.
Yeah. And then finally we felt like we were, I don't know, people were going to the gym or gyms were opening in such a way that, as it was, I mean, a lot of gyms went parking lot or whatever.
Right. But it was still fascinating.
Anyway.
My takeaway was pre-exhaust the muscle.
Pre-exhaust the muscle.
Where, okay, if you're bench pressing, you're going to use all of whatever it takes to bench press. But if you really want to build your upper chest, you should do that first, because you'll never get to that because all the bigger muscles will take over. So pre-exhaust, I mean,
I love that one.
That's
and then he's talking
ridiculous.
about like 30, 40 rep sets, and we were both like, wait a minute, what is that? I don't know.
I'm like, that'll never work. You'll never get huge.
Yeah, we're telling Stanimal.
He takes up this whole couch. It was crazy having him in here.
It was amazing.
It made my apartment so small.
I know. We gotta get out. He's in Chicago now? We gotta get out there, I think.
Huh.
The other thing I liked about him was he said something like, I'm not curling the weight, I'm flexing my bicep and the weight is moving.
God, I think about that all the time too.
I don't know if it's mind something.
Mind muscle connection.
Who knows what it is.
Yeah.
But the way he said it, I was like, wait, what? And it just like made my brain do pretzels. But it was, and that's awesome. That was an awesome one.
Yeah, and he eats 10,000 calories a day.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say easily the fittest person we've had.
Yes, correct.
By far.
Unless we're talking about Manic Mather.
Oh, Manic!
Guy.
This was amazing too. This was, not to brag, this is my old buddy from college who then, he's the most incredible squash player in the world.
Yeah.
Fair is fair. I went to college with a lot of incredible squash players, but he really took it to another level in New York.
He's a true athlete.
And he was also really into... That was fun to talk to, like a real pro athlete.
Yeah.
At the top of his sport, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That just everything was about performing well, and then talking about banding in a certain way to challenge his body in this direction. And I'm like, yeah, but what about hypertrophy? And just he focuses on performing and nothing about looking.
Yeah.
You know?
And well, to be fair, he looks great.
Yeah. Right. The aesthetics accidentally happen while he's being really good at his sport.
And then my favorite was when you win one of those tournaments, they give you one of those giant bottles of champagne. And so at the end of the summer, he threw a party with all those gigantic champagne bottles. And I was like, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
That's a reason to start playing squash, honestly.
I know.
Oh, Nathan Lazinski. Oh, my goodness.
Nate, this was incredible.
He's so jacked.
Here, what I learned from him is that I can do 1,000 burpees, or whatever it is, 900, what is it, a mile? What is it?
Burpee mile.
I can do a mile of burpees. Thanks, Nate.
He organizes the burpee mile every year, and we did it. Oh, that was painful.
That was awful.
You want to do it this year?
No, absolutely not. Never again. I'll referee it for you. I also really liked when he was trying to tell us something, and he was like, oh, here, and he just reaches over and he grabs his spine, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Meanwhile, that's happening in my studio.
Da-da. Careful, he's about to fall. Is that a guy or a girl? We don't know.
His name is Midas, so yeah, dude.
Okay.
Dude.
Nice heart.
Well,
yeah, he
thanks.
grabbed his spine and he like sort of shook it at us. He was like, check that, it's like this. And
he said, don't ever crack your back.
He said, never crack your back, which I now stopped doing.
Yeah.
I don't do it anymore.
Because you have to do all of them if you're going to do it. Instead of just doing one, that'll just cause more problems.
Yeah.
When the other ones are not. Was that even the case? Whatever, leave it up to him.
Yeah. He was also wearing what I imagine is a large shirt, and it looked like it was painted on him.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Just busting out of it.
Those poor buttons.
Wait, you did stop cracking your back? See, look at you. Takeaways that you...
But Brittany makes me crack her back all the time, so it's kind of...
You didn't tell her to listen to Total Fitheads?
She's not a big, not crack your backer.
Okay. Oh, those people.
Yeah.
Alright, episode 33. Chris and Eric.
Chris and Eric.
Basically, they were like, we wrote this book about how to train people remotely.
How to be better trainers.
Yeah, and be a trainer. And this was pre-COVID, and then everybody started doing that and needed their help.
I feel like they also finished each other's...
Sandwiches.
Okay. All the time. And I thought they were... Didn't they talk about getting out of LA and moving to Austin, or were they somewhere else?
Oh yeah, they moved out of LA.
But it was out of LA.
Are they potentially prestige copies of each other?
Ooh, better ask him. Hang on, let me tweet him.
Kelvin Gary.
Oh my God, he was incredible. So this was Monic's trainer.
Oh yeah.
And he runs a place in New York, Body Space Fitness. And his training stuff was incredible. Remember when he was talking about, like, you don't even want to think about doing it, you want to get so good that you're just doing the reactionary thing. That's how it's training.
He's the mind behind what I was saying about Monik being such a performer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was the one coming up with the band ideas and having him jump on one foot while he's being pulled in one direction.
He would have a band around his waist, pulling him from his right. He'd jump to his left, land on one foot on a half medicine ball. I'm like, dude, come on, man. That sounds like a rubber band museum. I don't know what's going on with that, but it works incredibly well. He was so good.
Nicole and Matt Burke.
Oh my God.
I just learned to be the best at what you do, you have to marry someone that will help you. So they're a husband and wife team, and he trains her. And
she's incredible.
They
both are, but she's
gotten so jacked. I mean, she was a machine when we had her on, and it just keeps getting more machinery.
Her Instagram is crazy.
Is insane.
Easily two of the fittest people we've ever had on this podcast.
Both of them.
I really liked when they were talking about, I guess my favorite part was when they were talking about we were talking about diet, and I was like, so if you're competing and you're not, how do you do that? And she was like, oh, it's fine, ask him about the McDonald's wrappers I find in the car. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, I eat McDonald's in the car. I think it's sneaky, but I guess she knows. I'm like, okay.
You know it's going to smell like it for a while.
Oh, so funny. So cute. And she's a beast, and he is too. And yeah, that was awesome.
Josh Holland. Ozone. I still haven't tried
Ozone!
I've read
forgot
more
about
it
that.
since.
Yeah.
It sounds like, and I've heard about it from Dave Asprey, the Bulletproof guy, who obviously I love everything he says except for the dumb stuff. And I feel like I should try
Which is
Ozone.
50-50.
But I haven't. It's also really expensive and hard to get, I guess.
Yeah, I forget what it was. Do you have to go to a place, or do you have to...
Well, he had his own machine, I think. Oh, no, maybe that's Dave got his own. Dave, my buddy Dave.
You know, Dave. Davey.
Cliff Harsky.
Oh my God, amazing.
He was all
Probably the smartest, weird training we've ever talked about.
Yeah, he's always doing nutso stuff.
He was like, oh, you know what you should do? Like, don't do a step up. Do a jump step up onto a tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah, while you're holding a kettlebell, and then, yeah.
It was insane. He's such an awesome trainer, such an awesome mind. That was a really, really fun one for me. And this stuff... Easily one of the fittest people we've had on this podcast. Easily. And actually, shout out to his wife, who is more fit than him. I don't know if you knew that. So
that's true. I've seen her on his Instagram. Brittany Morsacek. I don't remember this one.
I don't either. She sounds hot, though.
So
professional dancer in LA. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I should listen back to that one, maybe. She seems cool.
Yeah, she seems very cool. What did we talk about? I mean, I don't remember. Frankly, I kind of remember the episode. I also remember her telling me horror stories about dancing.
Yeah.
In college, being a professional dancer, training. The Russian stuff she's told me is horrifying.
Yeah. The cane.
Russian ballerina training is
and weigh-ins.
crazy.
It's almost as bad as wrestling.
Yeah, at least they get to do something cool.
Leah Versal. Okay, so
Beast.
I was talking about earlier when we were talking about HIIT. She was like, if you can talk, if you're not on the edge of puking, it's not high intensity interval training.
This was the first time when we talked about how high intensity interval training, air quotes, is sort of fashionable now, or like the cool training. And she not only said that there's other ways of doing it, but she said that a lot of this stuff isn't actually high intensity.
Right. Yeah, they just use that name, but they're not actually.
They use it because it's cool, and I want to do high intense, of course. I'm so intense, you know. Right. But she's like, it's not that high intense unless you're like puking after your round, or
right. You can only hold it for so long.
Yeah, you can't do high intensity for over a minute.
And you shouldn't do it more than 3 times a week, and even that sounded like a lot at that point.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
She has an awesome home gym.
Oh yeah.
Like the lighting.
Cool. Yeah.
The lighting's
really
the best part of the gym.
Instagram.
Easily one of the fittest people we've had on this podcast. Easily. Yeah, she was amazing.
Martini Monsters. Yeah. That opened my eyes to the world of powerlifting competitions, which then really I attended one that I made up, but.
The Invitational?
Yeah. Well, it was my
the AS Invitational
mock powerlifting competition. So that was my takeaway, that I could do it, and I did.
Yeah.
And I PR'd.
This was our first foray into Twitch fitness.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Twitch streamer. Go follow her on. Subscribe to her on Twitch.
Just
follow her on
Twitch.
Twitch.
I think both. So you can follow, and then subscribing means that you pay them.
So double subscribe to her on Twitch. She's amazing. She's probably the strongest person we've ever had on this podcast.
Yeah, also a great home gym.
Great home gym. I forgot about that.
Rebecca Louise.
Shout out Rebecca Louise. Knock on wood. Hopefully she's going to climb Everest.
Oh yeah.
This year.
I forgot.
Or next year? I forget.
Why is she doing leg lifting workouts on Instagram when that is the most fascinating thing?
She runs a mini fitness empire, or real fitness, gigantic fitness empire. I don't remember what the correct term for it is, but it's an empire. She trains the ladies, I think she was a focus, but she trains everybody, and she really wanted to climb Everest. She was like, my biggest disappointment is I wanted to climb Everest and I couldn't. Because of scheduling and COVID and flights and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh yeah, because of flights?
That was the issue?
That's my issue too.
Yeah,
sure. It's just like why I'm not a doctor, you know. I'd love to do it, I just didn't want to do the medical school stuff. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think she's back on track and she's going to be Everesting pretty soon. So that's really exciting.
That's cool.
Psyched about that.
All right, New Year's goals. Wait, did we do what we said we were going to in 2021? No.
I have no idea.
Because I probably said muscle up.
Oh.
And now that's my 2022 goal.
Well, you better be careful because we got a 2022 bet on a muscle up.
Oh, I know. I very much know. I've already started. I'm on.
You've started drafting what tattoo you're gonna get?
Day 21 of a video where I get my first muscle up.
The bet is if Allie can't finish the year if she finishes the year having done 0 muscle ups, she gets a tattoo of my choosing. She's allowed to suggest tattoos, concept placements,
Can I suggest no
like
tattoos? What about that?
You can suggest it, yeah, of course.
Okay.
But I won't take it into account. So yeah, I hope you're training in terms of drafting the dragon that you want all up and down your front.
I'm gonna look like Chris Duffin.
Yeah.
Alright, that's cool.
It's a dragon on his back, you got a dragon.
Yeah.
Face front.
Our biggest fitness mistakes, things we wish we knew before starting. My probably biggest one is it's hard to land on one.
Yeah.
Not cardio. Just the elliptical. You can't progressive overload, and you're never gonna get what you want out of it.
Elliptical is death.
Unless you actually just enjoy elliptical and it's just some sort of meditation for you, then do that. But if it's not working, try something else.
Yeah, mine was. I don't remember what mine was. I'm just gonna say not knowing about pre-workout. I feel like we've talked a good amount about.
I can't believe we've gotten all the way this far. What are we on? 43, and we haven't talked about pre-workout yet.
Well, we were sort of saving it for the next one.
I took some this morning.
Which one?
C4.
Oh, that one's so good. My God, that's such a.
I know.
Face
but
tingle.
do you realize I took it and I biked here.
Do you do it?
And then I started working on a video.
Oh my God.
That's not when you should be taking pre-workout. It was not pre-workout.
It's pre-life. So now you're off coffee, but you're on pre-workout?
Oh no, I have both. I chose pre-workout today.
Totally. The worst I've ever done is I put pre-workout into my coffee one time. Into my cold brew. Oh, thought I was gonna die. It was the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Wow.
Dumber than the chicken. It
What?
was insane.
What prompted that?
Just wanted to see if I could do it.
Huh.
Stupid.
Do I bring that up now?
You know, they say that
Instead of
women
the
live
chicken?
longer than men. When I do stupid stuff like that, I'm like, huh. Huh.
Well,
interesting.
that's why.
I wonder why, exactly.
All right.
Speaking of pre-workout.
Pre-workout. Average Joes. Yeah, they were another Twitch streamers. But yeah, they're obsessed with pre-workout. It made me feel like, oh yeah, it's not that bad that I take some, and I could just probably take it on a normal day before working out even. They were just convinced me that I shouldn't treat it like
do it. Yeah.
a controlled substance.
We talked about Jack 3D. That was a really fun trip down memory lane.
Oh yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
Love it. All right, 45. Tatiana Lampa. Yeah, that made me not want to sit at my computer anymore.
Oh my God! Yeah, the posture when she's like just when she describes. Have you ever seen someone who sits like, and then she curls her shoulders in, and she has little T-Rex arms, and she leans forward. And as she was doing that, I think we were on Zoom, right? I remember just being in that same position, being like, oh my God, 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 just like leaning back and being like, you're a total idiot, Max.
Yep.
She was really great. Yeah.
Jeff Kahn. So we talked about
the great Jeff Kahn.
He made us think that maybe we don't put so much stake in those trying to get deep sleep from the devices that tell you whatever, that they may be a little off and you should just focus on your sleep debt.
Jeff Kahn says, sleep debt is the most important, if not the only thing you should think about. Every person needs X number of hours per night, so maybe Allie's is 8 and mine is 9 or 7 and 4, whatever. It's between 7 and 9, so I don't know why I said 4. But.
Yeah.
And then you just figure that out, and then you keep track of whether you're +1 or -1 or whatever during the week.
And then you take a screenshot and text it to your friend to show off how much sleep debt you don't have.
0.3, suck it. You know
right
what I mean?
now?
That's I feel like that's a back and forth.
I haven't looked in a while.
I don't know. Oh God.
I accidentally didn't set an alarm last night. Well, I set it like an hour later than usual, so I got an extra 9. Yeah. Or an extra...
Oh, well, I'm at 4, but I'm at 4 hours of sleep debt. But...
It's calculated.
I did just come back from Boston, so my hours are all messed up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So technically... I remember last week it was at like 1.
I'm at 5.3. You're winning. And you were traveling.
Fun. And I was traveling. Sleep debt. That's the big one. You know how you track it?
Pay attention to your sleep debt.
You get the app.
Yeah. Instead of obsessing about those little changes in HRV and such. Okay. Our 5 biggest fitness fails.
I don't remember. But mine is flexibility still.
Mine was training for a marathon when I should have been lifting.
Oh, yeah. Why did you do that?
Because that was my only option. I stopped dancing, and then all of us just became runners.
Yeah, but didn't you specifically train for a marathon?
Yes.
You weren't a runner. You were, I'm doing a marathon.
Yes. And then I ran a marathon and injured myself, which we can talk about in the injury episode. And then I continued. I was running a half marathon every weekend for a while there.
Ugh. How long is that?
13.
No, how long is that hours?
How long it takes me to run?
How long were you running 13 miles?
Yeah, 130 minutes because I
so you're doing
10-minute miles.
So you're running 2-3 hours.
Yeah, it's a long time.
A weekend? Or
yeah.
Brutal.
So Michael Altini, that you can't improve your HRV. This blew my mind because I'm looking at all my devices going, I'm gonna get healthier. I'm gonna improve my HRV, and he's like, no, you're just born however it is. You use it as an indicator if you're overtraining or not, but you don't improve your HRV.
Yeah, and we're like, I was doing breathing exercises this morning.
Well,
so I'm pretty sure I'm improving.
We have heard that potentially you can with breathing exercises. He was saying, he's like, maybe.
Yeah.
Get my breathing app and we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
Then
I'm like, shut up and take my money.
Like, absolutely. Erin Berry. Oh.
Oh, this one was amazing.
Investors.
She was talking about emotional content in your workouts, or using workouts to work through emotional stuff, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't know that I was absolutely doing that until she put it in words.
Yeah, she was amazing. She's so New York. My God.
Yeah.
My God. Be more New York, Erin. My God. I couldn't believe it.
All right, we're halfway. Cutback coach.
Oh, this one was awesome too.
Yeah.
Cutback coach Nick Allen founded the app called Is the app called Cutback Coach?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
And it helps you doesn't tell you to drink or stop drinking or whatever. It just makes you note every time.
Just say, hey, I had a drink.
Right. And it's the benefits and the results are crazy. Like, you're just so much more aware of what's happening. You're making informed choices on stuff. You're not like letting stuff.
And the next morning they ask, how do you feel?
Yeah.
And suddenly you're making connection to how you feel, and then when you go to write down the next one, you're like, maybe I won't.
Yeah. It was funny. It was like a little bit of being mindful, but I think my biggest thing was like make an informed decision. That was kind of cool.
Listen to your body. Yeah. As opposed to, again, all these devices telling you whatever. It's like, no, you have this data. The data is feeling your feelings.
Or just like letting it go, and you're like pushing a boulder down a hill or whatever,
right.
And it just rolls.
And it's not called abstinence coach. It was all about, just have a little less and feel a little better. We're not telling you to stop drinking.
It was awesome.
Which I liked.
Yeah. Because we're very sensitive about that.
I'm very sensitive about being told not to drink. Don Saladino, easily one of the fittest people. I knew it was coming. I had to cut you off.
Good cutback. He was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
He was so much fun to talk to, actually. He's a celebrity trainer, and he's also, I guess, one of the coolest New York trainers there is. USA trainers.
My biggest takeaway was that the people on the magazines work weeks and weeks beforehand to look like that. I don't know, I just always thought that they were just fit people that they took pictures of. But It's like, no, you have a shoot coming up for Men's Health. You're thinking about it months before.
And they're in that shape for an hour.
Yeah.
And
then they go back and have some water.
Yeah. He was a great one.
Aura, still wearing my ring. Freaking love talking to Harpreet Rai, the CEO. This was great.
This was a great one. I will say that for someone who doesn't wear a lot of these, Aura consistently comes up as the one that people like the most.
Yeah.
And the one that is the most accurate. I mean, you've told it to me, and then other people have.
Accuracy, calorie tracking specifically, and the fact that it's on my finger. Every other strap-on thing, it's such a hassle. And this one, if I'm not wearing it, I feel naked. It's the exact opposite. It's really crazy. Yeah, but it was cool to pick his brain about, starting all of that and where it was.
Yeah, that was a fun one too, because it was a little fitness and it was a little start a business.
Yeah.
That was fun too.
Yeah.
And he was so smart, so funny.
Ben Rice, episode 54.
Oh my God, 700 pounds. Wait, was Ben?
He would do it every week.
Was Ben pre-workout or?
He also loved pre-workout.
I mean, who doesn't?
No, he chugs Monsters.
Oh, that's
on
right.
Camera.
He was just doing.
He's another Twitch streamer.
Sugar-free Monsters or
and if
Blue
someone
Monsters.
Donates X amount, he has to drink one on camera, and he trains and streams at night even, and I'm like, what are you doing, you psycho? He's so strong. I hung out with him in person. I went to TwitchCon, so I've seen his mass.
Thick.
Yeah,
thick boy.
he is so strong.
A little
Ridiculous.
meatball. Yeah, he's a big boy. That was a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the one that wrote all this stuff on the wall behind the thing?
Yeah. Kept track of all his subs. All right, TRX Traveler.
Oh my God, this one to me was my favorite. My most personal one.
You can go.
Because I got the TRX when everyone was in lockdown, and I put it in my at home. I was using a TRX, and I really liked it. And this one was fun too, because the takeaway is you don't need gym equipment to get a specific movement in.
Right.
You
and
know?
For him, it was all about being able to be freed from the gym because he wanted to travel, so he didn't...
It was a combination of fitness and travel. That's
Yeah.
why it was cool. TRX Traveler sounds better, so, shout out. But that idea of I don't need a dumbbell to get a curl workout.
Yeah.
That was when my mind started really opening up a little bit.
Right.
Thank you, COVID, I guess. Whatever. Thanks for whatever.
Speaking of, will we return to public gyms was an episode, and the answer is no, because I'm still working out in my home gym.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, can you say...
I will say, I miss the sauna. And I miss the steam room, and I don't have a pool.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, I would probably go back to a gym for. But other than that, probably not.
All right, Kenny Santucci.
Kenny, this one, I loved this one. Easy New York. Be more New York.
Yeah, I know, right? He was also one of the people walking around holding the phone.
He was just so in his element, you know what I mean? He was in his own, I don't know if that's his gym or, I think it is.
Yeah, and I think he was training, he went and gave somebody advice in the middle of the episode. And then
it's like he couldn't resist, he's such a teacher, such a trainer. It was awesome. My favorite part of that one was when he was talking about his mom, and he was like, "Ma, what's the first thing I told you about breakfast?" And she's like, I don't know, Kenneth. And he's like, "Eat some protein." And she's like, "Well, I did eat some protein." And he's like, "Ma, where's the protein?" She's like, well, there's some in the peanut butter. And then he does like this impression of his own mother. And he kind of does an impression of himself.
Yeah. Pretty great.
That was so funny. God. But anyway, the takeaway was sometimes it gets very specific and you track something you're very into. And sometimes it's like, hey, you know what to do.
Right.
Do it. Don't hide behind like there's a little protein in the peanut butter. Like, eat a protein-rich meal if you're trying to do that.
Right.
So I like that one.
Patrick Frost.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. He just cares so much.
He had
Also
just bought
mushrooms.
that gym, right?
Yeah.
And then COVID closed him down, and then he was like fighting tooth and nail to get it back opening again. That was, in that sense, as like a business owner sense, it was pretty inspiring, I thought.
Sure, and the fact that he gives a percentage of all his proceeds to different charities each month, and it was really about building a community for him and making people work out because they cared about something bigger than what you look like. That was awesome, which is crazy
really
because he looks just like a beautiful man that would only care about what he looks like.
He looks like somebody drew him as a superhero.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
And he wears this Spider-Man outfit.
I know.
The right way. You'll love to see it.
How we're getting our summer.
You know what else I remember is when I think we were talking about tattoos, and he has this big shamrock in the middle of his back.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I love it. Do I love the placement? Maybe not." That was like so funny. Like true. Sorry.
All right, 59. How we're getting our summer bodies. This was me basically saying I'm starting my cut, and I just recently ended my cut. I'm now bulking as of, beginning of January.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Stupid because it's bulking with vegan. We can get to that in another video.
I know, that's coming.
We're supposed to be rapid firing. We're bad at this. Okay. Oh wait, what was yours? In the summer bod thing.
Summer body? I don't even remember. Just do more curls.
But with a TRX. Okay, Mesa Hanawi. We talked about how everyone's like CrossFit sucks and you get hurt yourself and you can't really progressive overload and she's like, no, you can program correctly.
Yeah,
you can be good at programming CrossFit or you can be bad.
Yeah, I like that one. My takeaway was on her Instagram, she was like, all right, I'm doing a Mesa talk right now, like a TED talk, but it's me. And then I messaged her and I was like, it should be a May Says.
Genius!
And then she was like, haha. And then I'm like, so are you going to do it? Or should I call should I trademark it? She was fun. She's so smart. She's really just a fun trainer for sure.
Smart. how to start tracking your macros.
Mm-hmm.
Your takeaway, did you start?
No. Sort of, but not really. I'm
aware. The episode where
aware...
I taught Max how to do this. I sent him a spreadsheet that I'd programmed for... I did that, right?
You didn't send the spreadsheet.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah. You said I will.
It's my fault.
Yeah.
It's definitely my fault that you aren't tracking your macros.
What I do now is I do a general keep track of minimum protein.
Okay.
That's I think a pretty good first step. And this is also where I figured out that Allie doesn't actually eat meals. She eats bowls of different ingredients.
Yeah. It's a lot of dishes, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Have abs, I guess.
Not do it.
All right, how to get on the cover of Men's Health. Noah!
Oh my god, this was so much fun.
You're sweet.
He crushed. Did he crush Dancing with the Stars? He did, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
He was fun. It was a really good episode. I remember him saying something like, I forget how he put it, but he was like, I had a little bit of a following from this, that, and the other thing. And then I went out Dancing with the Stars, and I'm like, who are all these people?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I remember him talking about being on the cover of Men's Health and that he was competing against two other guys and they were so diverse. And he's like, I'm screwed. There's no way I'm getting on. So it just made me realize that when you see somebody in a position like that and achieving something awesome, they were probably right before that thinking that
I'm never going to get this. This is insane. What am I doing here?
Yeah.
And then like you.
Yeah, he basically talked through his imposter syndrome and was like, well, you don't need to have it because look at you on the cover of Men's Health. How to stay fit when you travel.
Ooh. I don't remember.
Can't believe it's been this long and I haven't brought this up. This was my episode saying fast. Everyone fast. If you can't find something good to eat in the airport, which is probably the case, just don't eat.
Just stop eating. And it's funny too because 30 episodes prior you were like, ugh, all they told me to do was stop eating. That's like so bad for me.
No, they told me to graze. Let's be clear. I was eating all day, but a carrot.
Right. Oh, a carrot. A baby carrot. Don't be greedy.
Throughout the day, I was finishing the baby carrot.
Carrot shreds. Shredded carrot.
Oh, all right. Christine Imperato. I don't remember.
No, she sounds like an idiot though.
Yeah. I think she's our most viewed episode.
C by C?
Yeah.
Is she really?
It's because I have her on Fitness Outrageous all the time, so everybody knows her, and we're like, oh, I want to see more about this coach that I do know.
It was what is it called when you gradually build up your calories?
Reverse dieting.
Yeah.
She's big on that.
That was awesome.
That was cool. Yeah. She is reverse dieting people right now, and they're still losing weight. They're still eating more and more and more and losing weight.
Cool.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Try it out, reverse dieting. Okay, our top 9 recovery tips. Sleep. This is a sleep episode. The first 8 don't count, just go sleep.
This was CBD beer, right?
Oh yeah, we were drinking CBD beer during the thing. Dr. Bove.
Shout out Dr. Bove. Was this when you told me about massage guns? Yeah, I think so.
That I said that they don't work?
No, that you tried them all and you were like, this one's good, take it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, thanks.
I have more if you need. Okay, are you choking while you are asleep? Oh, this was the tatch. Yeah, this opened my mind to the fact that I am, in fact, snoring.
Ooh, how embarrassing! So you did this one,
I
right?
did it.
And what was your body? Did you move around a lot, or did you toss and turn?
I think a normal amount of moving around, but my key takeaway was that when I sleep on my back, I sleep significantly crappier.
Really?
And that's when you can hear me snore. So
it makes sense. That's how you're
all your
really
soft palate, like everything falls back, and
the flat.
Who knew that we needed to care about that? But we do.
I feel like I haven't tried it, and I feel, but for good reason. But this is when we were talking about mouth taping, right? Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, it looks stupid, but it is really, 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 really good for you.
Yeah, I've heard
like,
great things.
Girl.
Oh, and that went against what Nathan Lazinski said, where he's like, if you sleep on your side, you're just messing up your spine and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And that you should always sleep on your back, but then now I realize actually for breathing purposes, I should be on my side. Crazy.
And I'm sure part of that has to do with your pillow or your bed or whatever.
Sure. Obviously, 8 sleep mattress. our top 5 favorite group workout classes. I don't remember what I said. I'm gonna guess CrossFit.
I'm gonna guess F45.
You like that better than CrossFit?
Yeah, definitely.
Because they don't make you do anything overhead.
Because I never got hurt.
Yeah, get out.
Although CrossFit was more fun for sure. CrossFit has bigger highs, but also bigger lows.
Yeah.
And I also remember my group. I liked my group a lot. You know, it was all of us who did the noontime class for whatever couple.
Oh, so you've done it often.
When I did CrossFit, I did it for probably 3 or 4 months. The noontime class.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were saying F45. So you did CrossFit for months? Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, it was terrible.
This was before I knew you.
And I would also, I would go very light, and they would all make fun of me for going light. And I'd be like, all right.
You probably kept your shirt on too.
Yeah, I did. And there was one guy, we had to do a lap, and the one guy, it was like you do the whole thing and then you do a huge lap around. That's the other thing about CrossFit that's kind of crazy, is that they just open these tiny little gyms. They're like, all right, run down the street, and then do it 1 block over, and then 5 blocks back, and you're like, this is a little much. Anyway.
I ran an extra half a mile when I was doing Murph, because I got lost 1 year.
Anyway, he was like, yeah, I was trying to catch you, and I couldn't, and I kept speeding up. He was talking about, and I kept speeding up, and I couldn't catch you. And I was like, oh, that's weird. He was like, yeah, you know what's weird? That means you were speeding up on your run back. And I was like, no, wait, hold on. What? He was like, if I'm trying to catch you and I'm increasing speed, that means you were running and also increasing speed. I'm like, wow, I didn't realize that at all.
That's awesome.
It's a nightmare.
It's impressive. All right, weightlifting is a waste of time. Dr. John Jaquish.
Bands.
Unconfirmed, but he says that all you need are bands.
And in reality, all you need is an awesome title for a book.
Weightlifting is a waste of time. I would infuriatingly
it is about
speak of that online and purchase it.
And then gift it to someone else. Look how dumb this is.
Amazon.
I mean, did we ever try those bands though? They looked awesome.
I know. No, we didn't. But they're expensive. Yeah, look them up. Hey, hook us up. Our top 7 favorite supplements. Obviously, number 1 was pre-workout.
Pre-workout, obviously.
Caffeine, specifically, is the only thing that I take and feel it. Mm-hmm. I can't name another supplement where I'm like, oh, that made a difference. Maybe MCT oil, which I'm off now because cholesterol.
Did we talk about super greens?
Yes.
The green powder?
Sure. Never tried it. Have you?
I've tried it. I like it. I think. I mean, I don't know. I didn't feel a big difference.
Yeah.
And I remember now when I did the protein commercial for Transparent Labs, the Transparent Labs people who sell green powder were like, yeah, this stuff doesn't work. And I was like, what?
Wow. Well, there's something to be said for placebo. So everyone, don't erase that from your brain. Don't listen. Take your greens, and it'll help.
We'll edit that out. Don't worry about it. We won't.
We will not. Episode 70. Dave Marconi.
Dave. This is
so smart and so fit.
Have you seen him do weighted pull-ups on his Instagram? My God.
It's a lot.
He puts on about 17 45-pound plates and just goes. Mm-hmm. It's insane. He was so smart. This one was really, really fun. I think we talked about, he came on right after Jaquish, right? And that was a little bit of a...
You brought him on because we'd seen him speaking about Jaquish and maybe perhaps debunking some things about bands, so we discussed that.
Big time.
Whew, our morning routine.
Oh, yeah.
We
Journaling?
established
Is that what it was?
that I don't have one.
Yeah.
I do walk in the morning, which I had no idea was so important, but exposing yourself to light for
sunlight
within 30 minutes of waking up is really good for your circadian rhythm. I wasn't doing it because of that, but now I know by episode 100 that I am a healthy human.
It only took 100 episodes. What else? Oh my God, the DNA company.
Yeah.
This one was fun. I really thought it was very interesting.
So
you actually did this.
I did the DNA company test after having had their CEO on, Mr. Khan. It was cool. It was extensive. 6 different booklets, just pages and pages about me and my genetic makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And not my favorite thing about their catchphrase, or my favorite thing about them is a catchphrase, it's not about where you're from, it's about where you're going.
Yeah.
They focus on optimization and what your body is doing and the process is not what your ancestors are or whatever. It's
It
crazy.
was fun.
It's cool.
I kind of busted him a little bit on being a Bond villain.
Oh, yeah.
And he took it really well and took it in stride. He laughed it off and had a really,
Went back to optimizing the human race.
Yeah. He's like, okay, cool, man. I'm just going to keep helping everyone. I'm like, all right, well, whatever.
Top fitness lies you've been told.
I thought this one said you've told.
Yeah.
Which is something we should probably do.
Yeah. Top fitness lies I've told. Bands. Bands are great.
Bands are great.
They are great sometimes.
I think they're great if you...
Maybe not deadlifting. He has a deadlift band.
Does he really?
Jake Wish has a deadlift band.
How
and you
thick
stand
is it?
on it. It's really thick.
Yeah, of
But
course.
if you imagine when you start, it's not very tight. And by the top, it's really heavy.
Tight.
Anyway, I'm going to go on this fitness lie. My top was that you can outrun a bad diet.
That's a good one. Mine was probably you could just not eat and think you can have energy.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
That was your coach telling you you're fine.
Yeah.
Brian Borstein again.
The Brian Borstein 2.
He came on because he heard us talking about him. I was
That's
like,
right.
what's up, guys? It's been a while. You want to chat again?
He was like, yeah, I listened to this episode. You guys started talking about me, so then I hit you up on Instagram or DMs or whatever. And I remember specifically being like, oh, which episode was that?
You're going to need to be more specific.
That's so funny.
Yeah, still love
This one was the
stuff.
birds episode,
Oh,
which is something that is so incredible.
Max
and I talk
texts me
about
birds
all
at
the
least
time.
once a day.
He talked about the lengthened position having the most leverage in terms of hypertrophy or something like that. So like
In the lengthened position, it causes you to grow muscle much more than the shortened position.
right.
And how did they prove this?
They proved that by tying weights to birds' wings or something.
Yeah,
right?
so then they're flying like this, and they turn into super birds.
They turned into jacked shark birds or whatever. and I literally will just say birds out loud when I see someone do something like a lengthened. They're like, you know what's cool about this one is in the lengthened position. Birds! I'm like, who is that? Is Max here? Anyway, that was a great one. Birds.
Yeah, well, and it makes sense too why my traps are so freaking huge, because you're just holding that Olympic lifting bar. That's you're not even lifting. It's just stretching you, and then your muscle says, "Oh, I guess I'll grow."
Oh, are we growing? I guess I should grow. Amazing.
Not to talk about my giant traps or anything. I just mean compared to the rest of me. When I go like this, people are like, "Oh, a CrossFitter." Otherwise, I look like a little lady.
A dainty.
How we stay motivated. Gamifying. That was my big giveaway for that one.
Yeah, I think mine was calendars, or maybe it was the 5-second rule. Like if you can do it in 5 seconds, just do it, or 5 minutes, really. I think that was mine.
What?
I don't
Oh, if you could
remember.
just get it done. Then
If you can get something done in
do it.
5 minutes or less, start doing it. Oh, and that was my other one. Is that sometimes if I have 20 things to do, oftentimes that's a little much, and I won't want to do them. But if I have 20 things to do and I do 1, 2, and even if they're incredibly easy, I'll suddenly be
Keep
on a
going,
roll
yeah.
and on a breeze. So sometimes I'll schedule in stupid easy things to do first thing in the morning, write a
Get through that
1-sentence email,
inertia.
just so I can
Friction.
really start going.
We talk about friction all the time.
all the time.
Yeah.
And optimization and
Okay. Heber?
Heber?
Heber. There we go. Heber Cannon.
Haba.
He's with the Buttery Bros.
Oh, Podium is the name of his protein, and it is the greatest name I could possibly
Yeah.
think of for
So
a
good.
fitness.
Yeah, because I really want to be an orator, and that's why I'm building muscle.
I liked how he talked about. Well, he did both those documentaries, right?
Yeah.
Or all 3 of them?
A bunch of them, I believe.
He did all the CrossFit documentaries. He's I guess a filmmaker first.
The takeaway is, if you're documenting something, it really helps you be fully immersed in do that thing.
Yeah. He was in. Yeah, because he like knew what's important, what to capture, what to sort of
no wonder he's
highlight.
so good at his job.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Our tricks to stop hangovers. I mean, my big giveaway was the coconut charcoal, which I know you bought.
I bought it. I tried it. I didn't love it.
Really?
It felt like, I don't know. It felt like everything was. It felt like I drank a bunch of concrete, and like everything was just slow.
And then you crap out the concrete too. Did you have black craps?
I did. Yeah. Of course. But I also like.
That's the hangover leaving your body.
Yeah. Just get it out of here.
I mean, and I like it for food hangovers, not necessarily drink hangovers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. I think mine was drink water with your drinks.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Alternating.
Chug water too. That's another big one.
Before bed.
Yeah.
All right, red light. Dr. Mike Belkowski.
This one was one where he was like, "Yeah, it solves. You got a problem? Solves it."
That's why I chug CBD and get under my red lights now.
Did you really?
No, I do neither of those things.
You realize why that's like not that crazy of a thing.
I know, right? I thought about building my own red light thing. Whatever. It did seem like he's helped a lot of people and had results from red light therapy.
People talk about skin a lot, and that was a big one. And I think that was a big sort of like a gateway into what he's talking about for sure.
It should be some. This is one where we should have tried it, had added it, and we have not.
Text him.
Our top 9 favorite fitness gadgets.
Oh yeah, I think mine was 8 Sleep.
Dang it, so's mine.
What do you mean? You got the aura right there.
I know, but 8 Sleep is better. Sleeping cold, we talk about 8 Sleep mattress like, oh, it tracks things or whatever. It's the cold. It makes
if you sleep hot, like a lot of people have, and depending on your mattress, like I know people who have memory foam mattresses. I used to. It's really comfortable, but it's really hot, and it just traps in all the heat there, and so you end up sweating in the middle of your sleep, or waking up because you're too hot, or rolling over.
Or you don't even realize that you're not getting quality sleep.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know. I'm cold all the time, and I was still sweating at night, not realizing it. Now I crank it down. What do you at when you sleep?
I sleep at a cool -4.
-6.
-6?
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Meanwhile, Brittany sleeps at a +6.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I reach over. I'm like, ow! It's that.
Oh, I'm sure the pup loves it.
The puppy.
By the way, if you want an 8 Sleep mattress, I will put a link in the description.
Yeah, now that we've been talking about it.
Honestly. Okay.
Corey! Oh my god. What, is that you're with me?
Yeah.
Beer mile
Episode 80.
world record holder. Corey.
God, this is another. He was just born to do it.
Beer chugger.
This is another one. Because he was always good at chugging, and he has an incredible talent for running, and the drive to do both of those things and get better at it.
Yeah, I really liked. What did I like about?
In case you don't remember, he was the world record? Oh, you said that.
Beer mile
world record holder.
Beer mile world record holder.
Multiple years in a row.
And I liked. He would talk about the chugging, sort of, and he would talk about the running. Crazy. I liked when he was talking about. Remember, he was training with somebody else. Like he reached out to another world class runner. And they went on a run together, and he was like, it's funny to like see where you're at and really sort of compare yourself to someone else, because running is such an individual thing. Mm-hmm. That was a really cool episode. I like that one a lot. Also, we talked a lot about chugging beers.
Yeah, and I love that he didn't take himself too seriously, but he's definitely serious about being an athlete.
Yeah, big time.
Okay, diets we've tried, that failed.
Not eating, that was mine. Not my
Same!
favorite.
It's so funny we have such a similar past and you were not a dancer.
Grazing. Oh yeah, that was bad.
Or female. Oh no, I just drooled at myself. This is why we should be an audio episode. Okay. Patrick Stanley, How to Live Forever. I'm using his app now.
Oh nice, how is it?
Going well so far. The
You're
video's coming out soon. Span.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a lifespan coach now.
Span was the app that sort of aggregates all the information, all the data that all of your wearables track, and then looks at them and gives you something.
Tells you what to change, and then tracks if that change worked.
Yeah.
The eye-opening thing with this was like, yeah, you have all of this data, but it's not what do you do with it? You know,
Yeah.
it was like we're giving you an actionable thing and then showing you if it worked, which I think is cool. And so far it's been incredible. The video is really cool. I mean, I made one experimental change and saw the difference. I'm fasting 3 hours before I go to sleep now.
Ugh, brutal.
I know, and my coach and I landed on this because it was going to be the thing that made such a big difference, and I was like, oh, you're right. But then it made even huger of a difference than I thought, and I stuck to it because of the difference, you know, because it worked.
Yeah, you get that positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
And it's the classic bodybuilding.
Yeah. All right, our body transformation, physique update.
Oh yeah, that was when you gave me the scale, remember?
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, I'm a fat garbage pail. but it was a nice reminder that like tracking stuff is so important. That's what I took away from that.
Yeah. Are you still using it?
No. Although I just went to the doctor and I was 199 with all my clothes on.
Oh, that's fine.
So
you
it's
got
probably
at least 50 pounds of clothes.
90. It's probably 195.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
How to actually fix your diet, Dave Sherwin. Oh man.
Oh my god.
I loved this one.
This one was so much fun. I really liked this one. These pillars. And when he got into the 7 pillars of a healthy diet, and he was just nailing them all out. I remember thinking like, here we go.
Right.
And then every single one, I was like, yep, that makes sense. Yep, that's a good idea.
And they're all kind of things you maybe had heard or knew intuitively, but then afterward he's like, but are you doing them? And I was like, oh, right.
Yeah, I know. Like, oh right, I actually have to do that. Yeah.
So Rachel Sanders, so smart.
So fun.
We're on 85 now. Oh God, this was like a mind opener that she said, the multivitamin that you're taking might have stuff in it that's actually harming you. Like the idea of putting in mental effort to do something to benefit me and it actually does the opposite is so infuriating.
CEO and co-founder of Routine, which is a company that looks
your blood work and your DNA to know what specific vitamins you actually need and in what doses.
And sends you a specific supplement package in that sense. Very cool.
And then tracks changes over time.
Yeah, and it's like you and I both sort of had the same thought of like, oh well, whatever. If I eat too much vitamin C, I'll pee it out or whatever. And she was like, no, it actually could be not a great thing for you.
There are some things that will harm you.
That one was wild.
Yeah. And it all, you hear what she's doing with that company. It's like, yeah, why haven't we been doing this all along?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
And the answer is because it's easier and cheaper just to make a multivitamin.
Just to lie to people
and
spit out garbage. I'm really glad that she's doing that.
Yeah. Also founder of
Apex Optimizers.
Apex Optimizers.
Also, yeah, an NFT community around optimizing.
Yeah, which is really cool and really fun to be a part of.
Yeah, go check that out if you haven't. We've never talked about it, but I'm in the Discord, and it seems like a bunch of really cool people.
We should do an episode.
Oh, yeah. I'm down.
Spoilers.
What we eat in a day.
Max is always bulking. That's what I'm reading here.
I wrote the description for that one.
ABB.
Always be bulking.
Or
Genius. Mine was fast. Once again, I get to talk about fasting.
You know, there's nothing. You know, for as much as we make fun of people who do CrossFit, all they like to do is talk about CrossFitting. People who fast, my God.
Did you know I didn't have breakfast? I didn't have breakfast this morning.
And they tell me I haven't eaten in 17 hours. I'm like, interesting, fun, so cool. Anywho.
21 for me.
21, of course it is.
Anyway.
Let's get those numbers. Let's get those up to triple digits. How about that?
Triple digits. Max just asked me to die on this podcast. No water either. Okay, how breathwork can turn you into a superhuman, I'm guessing.
Robbie.
Like a truncated. Robbie Bent. This is crazy. I'm listening to Breathe by James Nestor right now, and it's a lot of the same stuff that Robbie talks about. But yeah, it's cool. The idea of having less oxygen and functioning higher because of it.
Yeah, this was a big breathwork episode. He's He was like opening sort of shared community spaces, and then COVID hit, sort of a similar situation we've heard from a couple other people. But he talked a lot about breath work and how you can amp yourself up, calm yourself down. That was actually the big one for me, was you can amp yourself up with breath.
Who
and
knew?
I'm like, I'm just breathing, Rob. Like, what are you talking about? And then I tried it a couple times. I'm like, yep, here I am. It actually works.
Yeah, I used this app for 10 days afterward and documented all of that. It's cool. I mean, I want to keep doing it.
Yeah, nose breathing. That was the other big one.
Yeah. I started doing squats nose breathing.
So he said that breathing through your nose regulates the temperature of the air. That is a hugely important way. And your and the nose filters and all this stuff, and it is a hugely important effect on your physiology, blah, blah, blah. And then I would randomly text Allie, I'm breathing through my mouth right now. I'm so embarrassed.
That's true.
She was like, ugh, you're disgusting. And I'm like, I know, this is awful. So anyway. So stop breathing through your mouth.
Yeah,
everyone.
Totally. Why do you need this to get fit? It's our protein episode.
Sneaky.
Yeah, this is probably part of the reason why you're tracking just protein. Because that's really all you need to look at. I mean, if you want to look at overall calories, but actually dialing in your macros is not necessary if you just get enough protein.
That's the biggest takeaway for me. And I think it's also, you can do different types of workouts or not, or you think you're going to do this workout, but then you can't because, you got to take your dog to the hospital or whatever. Like, stuff happens in your life, and maybe that'll work, maybe that won't. And my biggest takeaway was just make sure you get enough protein, everything else can kind of work itself out. From most of the people that we've heard from.
Totally.
From here.
Jake Steiner, you don't actually need glasses, episode 89.
I mean, how do we even talk about how mind explosion this one was?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't start not wearing glasses, that's for sure.
Well, but you don't start not wearing glasses. You start wearing a softer prescription. Softer?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it makes sense that something about the way we live is causing myopia, which is the technical term for having bad eyes. But basically, what he's saying is that we all should not have such crap eyesight. Do you wear glasses?
No, but I don't have good eyesight. Or do I?
Are you not 20/20?
I think I am. I don't know.
I've
certificate.
been wearing glasses since youth. Good. Yeah, that's the biggest word on my wall.
But his argument was you can train your eyes the way you could train any other.
Like progressive overload for your eyes.
Exactly.
I guess we should try it.
Yes, we should try it.
Laura Giarsi.
Giarsi. It's not Giarsi. She has an accent, so there's no R in the word. But
Giarsi.
Giarsi.
Got it. Well, she spells it ARSE. Actual spells it out on her Instagram. Anyway, delete your calorie tracking app. She was basically being like, Allie, you're an insane person. Stop looking at all that stuff.
She's a TikTok fitness person, and she was one of my favorites because she talked about branding and marketing as a trick to get you to think something's healthy when it really isn't, like the protein cookie versus the McDonald's cheeseburger. And
learning that I am privileged by being a thin person, a thin privilege.
And then remember, we asked everybody about alcohol, and she was like, well, let's talk about why you're drinking. And we were both like, what? Ow, my brain.
I need a shot.
That was amazing.
All right, our biggest fails and triumphs for 2021. I still don't have a muscle up. There we go. Running theme.
That is a fail. I tried to diet and I couldn't diet. All right, stop.
You look great. I just heard you went to the doctor and we're doing fine.
Yeah, went to the doctor. Felt great.
Master your glucose. This is our second levels episode. Where am I right now?
The doctor. Dr. Casey. So smart, so sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, she was just so much fun to talk to.
I know.
It's another glucose episode.
Plant-based.
Yeah, she is plant-based. No, we're not going to hold that against her.
Hey!
Just because you're plant-based doesn't mean like you're a total loser or anything.
I'm not saying I don't agree with you.
She was really fun.
Yeah.
It was more level stuff. It's not her blog, but the Levels blog is really good. And I feel like she writes like a ton of
Yeah, a lot of
a ton of the
stuff
posts
from Dr. Casey.
Yeah, so it's not like her blog, but it's her stuff on the blog. I find it to be really, really interesting.
Totally.
Yeah, she was great.
7 tips to stay fit during the holidays. Mine was prioritize protein. Eat that first, and then have the... That's another levels thing that we talked about with Casey, too. It's... If you have the bread appetizer, you're screwing your glucose.
Yeah.
Which, who knew? But if you have dessert after having a bunch of carbs and fat, or fat and protein...
That's when I still think about...
You're way healthier.
Like, eating my... You know, like when they give you a plate and it's like some meat and some rice and some salad, and you should just eat all the salad first.
It's also got probably vinegar on it, which will help slow the gastric emptying, and it'll blunt your spike.
Now I think about that all the time, and I just house the salad, house salad, you know what I mean?
Fun.
Fun.
How we will crush our 2020 New Year's resolutions. This is episode
I don't really remember how I'm going to crush them. I hope I've been crushing them.
Oh, I remember. I got challenged to do a muscle up or get tattooed. That was that episode. I have
like
1 year.
A bunny rabbit on the cheek. That would be a good one.
No! That would not. That would be awful. Oh, there's nothing that I want marked on me forever. Not a thing, let alone a bunny rabbit. Let me give you a spoiler for the video. I start out being like, well, I tried this once before, and like in the middle of trying to do a ring pull-up, I couldn't do it because I had just gotten over COVID. I used to do 3 strict ring pull-ups in a row. I'm now starting from 0.
You're back to 0?
Yeah.
Brutal. I had to take 2 weeks off now, and I'm dreading it. You lose it so quick. That's what's really scary.
Yeah, but it hopefully comes back quickly.
Hopefully.
Never binge again. Oh, this one was so good.
I love this one.
Okay, this is probably my favorite takeaway. Here we go. It is of all the 100 episodes. People are always asking me, how do you stay motivated? How do you be driven? What keeps you going? I'm like, I don't know. I can't give you advice on that. I just do it. And he framed it as, it's not that you have to make good choices, it's that it's just who you are. You get to a point where you're working out because that's a part of your personality, not because you had to put your sports bra on and convince yourself to work out that day. Right. And I was like, yes, that's it.
You're someone who works out.
Yes.
You're not, I have to go to the gym right now.
Yeah, you're not motivated now or whatever. It's just, that's who you are.
Yeah.
That's why I can have tons of candy corn sitting in my studio.
Wow, brag.
And never eat it. There are like 15 more bags over there, by the way. I just don't want to pick them up. Because I'm not a person that will eat candy corn in the middle of the day.
Right, I'm not a person that will eat multiple bags of candy corn in a day. I'm a 1 bag kind of guy.
Yeah, 1 bag kind of guy.
I liked his, I forget if it was a pig brain or pig voice.
Yeah.
There was that voice of like, just do something lazy and disgusting, which you hear in your brain. He's like, identify it. That's your pig voice, pig brain. I can't remember. I think that's so
it's
funny.
like personifying the id for all our Freud fans out there. As a pig. Yeah, well, animal sonifying.
Oh, God, it was so funny. Great book, too.
What it's like to have COVID.
Oh, yeah, this one sucked.
Mm-hmm.
It sucked.
Yeah. I'm so glad we're going over this because afterwards I was like, I forgot to tell Max I had a fever. Did you?
No fever.
I got a fever during COVID. I got a fever on my vaccines, too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe you're a little sensitive. I know some people are more...
You mean my immune system is so responsive that it heats me up like an 8-slate mattress.
I think a fever is just burning everything, right?
Yeah, just destroying...
Just kill it all.
I wonder if it kills the good stuff, too. Just forest fire to my microbiome.
Just take all that stuff and light it on fire.
I wonder. That's interesting.
Probably.
Huh. Aaron Comstock.
Aaron.
Episode 97. We're getting down the wire.
Yes, you have gallstone. We had a lot of gallstone talk.
I haven't had enough time to execute on this, but I really do think that I'm going to do the gallstone cleanse. What? The hardest part is going to be not filming what comes out.
Yeah, or you could just blur it, I guess. But then it's like, who cares?
Here's a blurry toilet. Which, by the way, you're getting the full unblurred.
Oh, thank God.
You don't know when it's coming. Don't open any text from me.
Don't worry.
It could be just the word birds. It could be my gallstone.
Birds. Bird stones. I like that this was one that I really liked how she was like, this thing didn't really exist for me, so I made it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like this coaching or this body of knowledge or how do I navigate this? She was an old snowboarder or ex-snowboarder and really felt like this doesn't exist. I'm just gonna make it. That was a nice takeaway.
Yes.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Create the world like routine. Rachel Sanders. Create the thing that you
levels.
are
It's
lacking.
like,
yeah. Wow, we have so many innovators.
Aura.
I can't believe that these
Hangover
people have
guy.
showed up. Yeah.
That's fun, man. That's really fun. We should do a FitCon probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just send VIP passes to all the people that have been on the show.
Totally.
Perfect.
And then we'll give ourselves general admission.
Yeah, of course. As the non-fittest people in the room. Okay.
Top 5 worst injuries. Not a great one.
98. I'm also waiting for a typo here where we messed up and did 277s or something.
Did we not
but I
do
think
a
we
typo?
counted them correctly.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look
we
at
did a
us.
good
We
job.
can count.
Well done. Top 5 worst injuries, yeah. My takeaway from that was that the thumbnail of this one is so good.
Oh yeah.
It's a picture of the moment that Max broke his ribs and he's spitting blood, which is unrelated to the rib break, but it's just epic. So if you're going back through any of this and we've sparked you to go check out other episodes, for sure look at this thumbnail of 98.
It was blah. That was not a great day for old Max, that's for sure.
Young Max, he's sans beard.
Skinny Max, I was 165 pounds. 30 pounds ago.
Damn.
Brutal.
Most of it's beard.
Most of it's beard.
And number 99, Jenny Blake.
Is this my favorite title? It's up there.
If you work out, you should look like you work out. Here's the problem I have with this title. Workout is a noun. Work out is 2 different words as a verb. So technically there should be a space there, but I'm like, we need as little characters as possible, so I let it slide.
No.
Anyway, the title is if you work out, you should look like you work out. Well, how many people do you know that work out and don't have a good physique? Is that a common problem?
Yeah, me for a while. You know, I would work out. I don't think I've upped or downed my workout that much.
Yeah.
But there are times that I'm like, wow, I look great. And then there's the other times where I'm like, do I work out? Am I a slug right now? What is going on? I just got out of the gym, you know?
Yeah.
I would literally be walking out of the sauna after my gym and be like, wow, you look, what is happening? You know, I think me for sure. This one was a great one. She's so fun to talk to. Dirt bikes.
Again, yeah, she was a dirt biker. Again, this tied into the pig thing, that episode, where she was helping us to just automate things, and she even said it just becomes a part of who you are versus having to think and work through motivating yourself, which I thought was cool.
And I remember thinking about that, and there's some other book I'm blanking on now, but it's every action, every time you do the thing that you want to do, it's a vote in favor of you becoming that person that does that. Every time you work out, it's one more coin in the bucket of I'm someone who works out. Yeah, exactly. That's and then cool. she said that a lot cleaner than I just said it, so that's
then cleanly coaches people to become that too, which is awesome.
Ladies Who Lift. Ladies Who Lift is an existing Instagram, which is kind of a bummer because I was like, you should grab it. And some other girl had it. I was like, bro.
Key takeaway from this whole thing is that you're trying to give people branding advice.
Right, what do I know?
Mason.
Birds! You know, birds. That's it.
Alright, so wait. Now we're at the 100th episode. What's the key takeaway? Thank you all for being here as a Fithead.
We really appreciate it. I think another key takeaway is there's a lot of smart people out there, and we learned some really cool stuff. I mean, this year, think about how many things you've changed in your like going to sleep early, eating early, wearable stuff, like all this stuff. I don't think I would be doing without these episodes.
I know. And there's still plenty that we should be doing. And our inbox is full of at least 25 more people that are incoming that there's no sign of running out of ways to be better Fitheads, that's for sure.
Really fun, really exciting stuff. I'm pumped. It's really, really cool.
Well, thank you all again, and if you want to share this episode, we would love to build the Fithead community, because you guys are the reason that we have these incoming episodes, the reason that we've done all of them up until now. I'm honestly mind blown, seriously, what we've been through with all these people and how incredible they all are. Yeah,
it's really fun. It's fun. We started this as like, we talk to each other about this dumb stuff all the time. Why don't we just hit record? And now we've met 70, 100 awesome people out of it. We feel like a lot of people are tweeting me stuff like I'm tracking my sleep now a lot more, or I'm doing this, that, or the other thing. Like, I feel like it's fun, man. It's a lot cooler educational stuff than I thought was going to happen. I thought we'd just be meatballing around.
It's not what we expected at all. It's so much better. Oh, and thanks to all the new people that just shortcut and skipped all the first 100 episodes and started with this one.
Smart.
Very smart.
Very smart.
You're optimized is what you are. And if you can rate and review on Apple Podcasts, that helps us out a whole lot. And we'll see you next week.
Birds. You were waiting for that, right?
I knew someone was coming. I'm like, where's the button?
Birds! I mean, who would tie weights to birds' wings?
I know.
Like, what a jerk.
What do you mean?
And the birds gotta be like, oh my god, are you serious, dude?
No.
Are you serious?
Now they're jacked and selfieing on Instagram.
Yeah, that's true. Hot birds.